a do or die for the IGN. They need to win this match if they wants to take on the first game of the Swiss stage. They wants to take on to the third set of this BO3 series. They need to win this match. They had to prove themselves. They need to, go for a good draft which can help them to win the match, as well as those overextensions mentioned by Solsky done at the red buff. They should aware of it. They should rectify their mistake. I know they are the one of the top team of India. They will be rectifying it as soon as possible in this second set. Asuya, before going to the draft, I'll ask you the last question. What do you think? Will it be a clean sweep, or are we gonna see a reverse sweep this night?
Well, we might see, a reverse sweep because at this time IGN is on the second pick right there. So if you give up one good hero in exchange, you can just plan it out and take two good heroes. So like people always saying that getting the first pick is a good option. Yeah, it is, but at the same time you're getting two good heroes in exchange. So all depends on the draft. It all depends on how they're planning on the first picks from both the sides.
Okay, with this, casters, please take on the draft phase.
Sasuya, are you there?
Yeah,
How are you? I mean,
I'm
how are you? Means basically,
alive.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's how we are basically.
We are all
Well,
yeah, we are all alive.
for now, I'm just alive, guys. I'm not happy to be honest. So we will take this podcast to some other time because this is going to be the second match between Zohan versus IGN of this Mythic Showdown series, and that's a Swiss stage, and it's a day one, guys. So far, so for Zohan has a match pointer in this game, so this is going to be, I would say, in favor of momentum. Wise, it's in favor of Zohan. But remember, revenge is a dish that's best served cold. So IGN is hungry for revenge, and we all know that revenge just gives you one hell of a drive in your life. So make that drive very useful, and we might say that IGN is having a lot of that drive in themselves right now because they just lost first game to Zohunt. I think now I think they might rectify their mistake, as Ashley said. I would say they were playing so disciplinedly well in the starting. I don't know. I mean, they both the teams have that pick off composition, like Franco and the Kalea. I would have just said that Kalea could have just gotten any one of, I would just get the family problem right there, because they were marking Prime, but Prime was having the purify, so that's a tsunami slam wasted. I think they could have used it on some Franco, maybe some other, I would say just on Kimi as well. So I mean, that's like, I think that was a slight, I would say, decision making problem, but the family problem played really well. So let's just see how they're gonna play in this game, because IGN will be getting the second pick, as you said, Asuya. They also have the advantage in the second pick. Plus, the first pick is of Zohunt. So, what do you think about it will be?
Well, I think right now IGN might be debating whether to ban out the Lucas or whether to ban out the Baksha or whether to ban out the Kalia. And yes, it is Kalia which will be given away. She's a pretty good hero. Like in the previous game, we did see she was giving out a lot of heals, but unfortunately, just like I mentioned before, the Franco was the key pick from the side of Team Zohan right there because you need to take out the, I would say, I forgot her name. Kimmy, yeah, you need to take down the Kimmy. But then there was always the fear of Franco, so Joy couldn't dive behind. Same goes for our marksmen. They couldn't take down the squishies right there. That was a
Yeah,
pretty hard thing to do because, especially ever since she got that holy crystal, along with that sky piercer, she was just melting the Kalia down. She was melting the front lines. So right now, once again, Zohan grabbing onto the Bakshad, Asti Miso on the fighter junglers, on the tanky junglers, he performs exceptionally well. Because we all know there are a lot of fans of Asti Miso, and we know how good he is on such heroes. Now, the question is IGN. Will they respond with a Lucas and a Florin? Might work out. Or will they be going in for some counters right there? Because a lot of things are open right now.
well, exactly. And hmm, like if I was in the shoes of IGN, they've got this hero Bakshia. I think it's fine. Okay, they are okay. That's a very good pick. They're also opting for this, four ways, so that they don't go for Harit or maybe Moscow in the gold lane. They might have to sort out to some other options. Plus, but they also have shown their EXP card. because this hero Bakshia is actually, I would say, a flex pick. We just saw how it was useful in the EXP. It can be useful in the roam as well, and it can be useful in the jungle as well. And they have shown their two cards. That's the basically the EXP and the Lucas. Lucas could have gone for the EXP, but now he can't because there is Phoebus, which will be in the EXP line. So I mean, they have their pros and cons in their first two picks from the other side of IGN, but we have to see how they're gonna. Okay, Kimi, why didn't they pick Kimi? I think they might opt for maybe carry this time, or maybe not, because previous game they were tries to fail the melt, failed to melt the front line too. I would say because Harry didn't have that tons of firepower in his hand. But now the Kimi plus the Fredrin combination. Now also they have also shown that Bakshia is not going to go to jungle because this haughty boy Fredrin will be in the jungle. So what do you think, Aijin? Well, how will they counteract this? Okay, that's a good pick.
Well, there are a lot of options, and just like you said, that since Fredrin hasn't picked up, so he might go for the jungle, but you never know. He can be played in the XP, you never know what surprises Zohunt has for us. And right now, Kimi and Baksha, that comp once again taken up by Zohunt, and IGN need to pick up something which can reach the Kimi, which can zone her away or at least take her down, not allow her into those team fights. And since like there are two hunky chinky or tanky picks from the side of Team Zohan, so already IGN knows that it will be hard to reach Kimi since the zoning is pretty good. But then I think the Louis pick solves a lot of things here because the diversions will be there, a lot of macro control onto the hands, and like she is a firepower and artillery right from the early game. So if we manage to shut down Kimi right from the early, not allowing her to farm, and I think Louis is pretty good at that because there is Dusty Mizo as well as our Fredrin. So she can just use up that passive from her first kill, and there will be a lot of people who will be taken up in that passive of the Yin Yang combo.
Hmm. Whew. As we can see, there is the 1-1 ban and the Moscow ban, and there is okay. Harit plus Granger is open. I mean, Aaron on Granger is just a different breed, into if you ask me. I'm not just glazing him because Prime actually played very well in the gold lane. I think previous game, I think Prime just went head on to that against Aaron. But remember, the Prime, I mean, the Kimi can be a flex pick as well. So that's the benefit of the flex pick. Kimi can be the gold lane and the mid lane. So you get your opponents thinking that what will Kimi go, which lane will Kimi go. And now for the side of Team Hygiene, they have a roaming left. Roamer wise, they might go for okay, there's the Granger. And I just called it out because I know that he's gonna go for the Granger. It's just like his comfy pick. I'm not just comfy because Granger is one hell of a good marksman. And he has the potential to melt the front lining only if he gets his hands on that Skybeard stacks, along with I would say slight early game advantage. In economics, we say a first mover advantage, just like that. So now Zohan does the last two pick. They're left with a mage, might go for Farsa. If their prime is going mid lane, they might go for a marksman, might go for Irithel because they had banned the 1-1, or might go for maybe a Clint or maybe a Harith. There are so many possibilities. Meanwhile, we can see they also have a roamer or an EXP left. So what do you think, Asuya? What will be here?
I might go in for some healer. Lauren is in band right now, so she could be pretty good roamer for Zoant. If or
Mm,
maybe a mid laner, just like I mentioned before. But no, it will be a Guinevere. So now my question is she the XP? Is
Roma.
she the
Okay, it's
tangle?
Guinevere room.
Is she the
It's
roam?
Guinevere.
And
She is the
I
roam.
think Zohan really loves that maybe what's that knockup kind of comps because they had Kalia in the previous match.
Yeah,
No,
Zohan.
wait, it was IGN with the
Yeah, it was
knockups. Never
I.
mind. Yeah, I think they have a lot of CCs right now. And once again, Zohan has done the same thing in the previous game. They had the Franco who was not allowing the diamonds, who was creating a zone where the assassin kind of junglers,
Oh,
they were pretty scared to go in, dive in, take down the Kimi. And same goes right now. Once again, if IGN tries to take down the Kimi, Prime right now, which will be a very crucial point because she will definitely be the bone of contention. But then there will be the Guinevere who will always be ready to CC you away to safeguard Prime. So if you see in both the team forms, Zohan is literally playing around the Kimi right now, just allowing her the free space, the free time to farm up and the space to deal damage.
Yep, exactly. But I would like to see that, both the drafts this time are actually good. But it just comes down to execution of the draft because there is Zozen which can gives a very good set, can possibly decide the game. But there's the family problem, as you said. And I think previous game it was a Franco that, made a barrier between the frontliner and the backliner for the IGN. And this time it's going, he's going to do the same work for that, with that Guinevere, because if he does uses spatial migration onto that Lucas before he even transform, I think it's game over for Lucas. So they have just got to watch it out. And even with that family problem, they might have to go for purify both of them, the backliners of the side of Team IGN, and that's a little bit, I would say, um, disadvantage because they don't have the flicker, because flicker is very important. But look at that there, yes, they are going to for the purify this time. Meanwhile, Prime has a flicker, so it just gives you a slight, I would say, repositioning advantage when you have the flicker. Purify actually gives you, I would say, uh, you know a debuff from every CC. But remember, like previous match, team Zohunt baited out Purify very goodly, very good. I mean, so that might be an issue for IGN to deal this time. If they manage to save their Purify for the nick of time, they will be able to pull out a very good game. Meanwhile, we can see a Gregor, Gregor not Sama, but it's Gregor Samsa again. Meanwhile, they are going letting the Prime take that gold crab buff, and that's a very good micro play from the Zohunt right there. This match,
Well,
I think. Yep, Asuya. I was about to ask you something, but yep, go ahead.
well, definitely, and just like I said before, Louis early game power is pretty good. The artillery she has with her is good. And if you did see in the last game how Kimi was melting down the Kalia, so right now Louis is someone with that passive. The way her first skill just goes into that fan-shaped direction gives her a lot of range, and she can use up that first skill, aim it from pretty far away, and yet the enemy might get that damage. Right now, that's how she is just halting the Kimi, both of them in a pretty even competition in the mid lane. So at least that solves it for both the sides right now. Chosen looking for some exchanges right there. And the first turtle up around 6
Oh,
seconds. Okay, the being Yang combo coming in. Kuniver uses up that second skill. Pretty free for now. Dusty Mizo already level 4, the first turtle of the game up. Now, let's see what happens because just look at IGN might go in for the first exchange. Okay, I do not see Zohan competing for it. They might come in, but Shozen creating that wall, trying to create up that zone coming in. Second skill coming in from Kimi and Dusty Mizo winning out that retribution battle. Meanwhile, in the top lane, pretty low HP onto that Lucas, manages to move away, but it will be the Phobius who will be just diving in too deep. Flicker being used up by Shozen. Too important. I mean, just too important spells just used up right there. Even the retribution, though, I think Lucas didn't win out on that. It was a pretty good retry coming in from the side of Team Zohan.
yep, and that was a very good traction pulse from that Kimi that paved the that just turned away that Lucas, and I think Lucas could have just transformed a little bit early. I think he just made a slight. I would say okay, there is the spatial. Oh, that's a very good traction beam right there, and that was a try to do spatial migration, but that was a tries to this is what I was talking about. They are very good to bait out the purified team Zohan right now. Meanwhile, we can see just chill guy trying to get not letting this Phobius get his minions. I would like to see some itemization after the first turtle fight because this first turtle fight is very crucial and the EXPs are very important. But meanwhile, we can see they are going for. I think Kimmy is going for first anti-heal item. That's a glorious. Yep, not the glorious, but the glowing one. Meanwhile, okay, there's a witch with the divers in the bottom lane side. Might go for some kills. Where is the spicy migration onto the Zozin? Meanwhile, Flicker out there with the retribution. They were trying to go in tower drive, and there will be the demonic force from that Gregor Samsa. Misses out with the traction beam. Okay,
Ooh,
attraction beam was misses out. Meanwhile, you can see the back line. There was a kill onto that witch as well as this Gregor Samsa. Meanwhile, Lucas will fall back for now, and that's again momentum is going towards the side of Team Zohunt.
Well, yes, and that's the issue with the four ways right there because once you start engaging, you're already too deep into the enemy lines. They can bait you pretty well and they can separate you and take you down, and that's what is happening. So I was really hoping that this four ways might go in with a flicker. But right now, I think it will be Lucas in a pretty bad situation. Four ways trying to dish out some damage, but look at the damage coming in from the yin can combos right there. Four ways still jumping up. Baksha will be taken down. Family problem next on the chopping block. Meanwhile, a free pass for Dusty Mizo in the way both the turtles are just going uncompeted for them because so much CC, so much zoning in coming from the rest of the team. It is a phenomenal teamwork coming in from the side of Team Zohan right now. IGN needs to pull up less on that gold. I mean, 2k gold lead. Also, two kills more in the hands of Zohan.
Hmm. I mean, Killsword is fine, but I think Witch is having a lot of trouble. He needs his roamer to, try to get him, give him vision of that Guneva because he will be able to get his mid lane. That's how. And got his first item now. That's going to be the anti heal. And okay, Aaron got his second item, I think. And Aaron, if he just, waiting for the right opportunity, if he was Malefic gun. Meanwhile, we can see there is engage from the box here. Just a kill guy, just kill guy will be okay. There's the backline. That was a very good implosion from the Tigreal. Meanwhile, we can see that Naruto is using his form. Ninetales is there. Purify will be used by that.
Oh,
Okay, that will be the double kill for this Lucas. And Lucas is not done because he's hungry for more. We can see that. Okay, that Aaron the creator misses out with the dash. Meanwhile, Lucas is quite
oh,
too low. We'll be getting the spatial migration on to from the hands of that family problem and will fall down now. Meanwhile, you can see this the chill guy will is just too low. Meanwhile, this Aaron is giving a lot of damage, misses out with his second ability, Gregor Samsa, and will have to fall back for now. But this trade has been, I think, a very good trade from both the side, and IGN is slowly closing in to the zone right now.
definitely, and that's what you need from the Tigreal. Go behind the scenes and take down the squishies, take down the Kimi right there. That was a pretty good exchange at the same time. Just like you mentioned, the Louis is very crucial, especially in the early game team fights because she can provide a lot of disorientation, provide a lot of damage. But then the Gulliver is being the bone of contention for her, so which really needs some good positioning or maybe needs some vision or help from the teammates. But then just at the same time, even if you're just marking down which Kimmy is open and even the Beatrix is open, but in the bot lane, I do see Granger being one versus two family problem being definitely a problem for the entire teams. The way the Gulliver is just knocking everyone up with that flicker combo, definitely a force to be reckoned with.
Exactly, but I think that was, as you said, it was so, I would say, very goodly analyzed by you. Plus, I think they caught Granger off guard in the bottom lane side. Meanwhile, you can see there will be the transformation. No, 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 that will be the spatial migration type. No, that was a little bit stun. There is the traction beam from that. Okay, Boxer taking down that Lucas, and
Oh,
this team is getting the turtle as well. Meanwhile, we can see that's a free hitting Kimi, and Kimi. Okay, now Mega Kill will go towards the team. So this time 401 with that Fredrin is just absolutely insane. And which just got caught off guard again, and I would say he just needs to maintain, I would say, a little bit good positioning. So far, so for Team Zohunt is on a roll right now. Meanwhile, I think the goal lead is also with them approximately 4k or 3.5k.
yeah, and I'm really sad for Witch right now because first it is the Guinevere. If you manage to get save or use Purify, there is the second skill coming in from
Oh,
the Kimi, always aimed up at the Loi, and she's not having a good time. And even if you manage to escape from that, there is the Baksha with the first skill stunning Witch down. It's like Witch does not have the freedom, but right now look at the bombardments coming in, the implosions, and Lucas finally in the
oh,
Ninetales form will be taken. Amino when taking that double kill, Prime onto the exchange, and that beam will be taking them down. Okay, a 3 versus 3 trade right there. Only two people remaining from both the sides. Okay,
exactly.
3 and 2. But then that was a good exchange from both the sides. So them recalling. But if you do see Macro is in the hands of Team Zohan with a higher tower advantage. Not even a single tower touched by IGN right now.
Yep, and Cho is a martial arts master model after Bruce Lee. His gameplay rewards time and timing and control with knockups mobility, guys. Remember that. Bruce Lee is
Remember,
Cho,
remember
and
and fill your cup.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So meanwhile, we can see attraction beam into the midline side, and as we are seeing the itemization from both the sides, this Kimmy, she is just straight away rushing down that holy crystal. Meanwhile, this Beatrix has a very good despair and anti heal for that Lucas as well. Wonderfully, I would say a good itemization from Beatrix. Meanwhile, I mean, Lucas is doing good, but that rocket bombardment, as you said, is actually making us difference, in positioning for that low E. Meanwhile, we can see there is a first lot giving a okay, there is Zozen giving away the vision, there is the concealed gameplay coming from Family Problem. Might not get anyone, will go for okay, he doesn't have the flicker for now. Will have to fall back. There is the guy that they were looking for, the Lucas. He will have to fall back for now. Meanwhile, you can see the bottom inside. Aaron might be in danger here. Will have to fall back for now. Just chill guy will be using his Tartarus Postinance for that Granger. Granger is giving a lot of damage. We can see that there is the spatial migration onto that Zozin, and we can see a demonic force from the Gregor Samsa. While this Rusty Mizo just too much beefed up right now, jacked up to get taken down from anyone from the side of Team IGN.
The macro, the micro, all in the hands of Team Zohunt right now. IGN needs to pull up the first lot of the game also coming up. And right now, Louis really needs some space right there. But look at that family problem. Will be taken down for the overexchange. But at the same time, the Beatrix having onto that one kill. Aaron manages to survive in a very, very low HP. Prime might look for some snipes right
Oh,
there. Meanwhile, from behind the scenes, what an amazing gameplay coming in from the Lucas. But right now, he is trying to do something right there. Still, guy using up that revitalize 3 versus 2. The orange being contested, the retribution being used up as a waste. Right there. Once again, we have the Kurama. Okay, meanwhile, off cam, it will be Prime who will be taking down the Louis. Once again, the Lord being taken down by Team IGN. The next contest near the purple buff right there. Like IGN getting zoned out so bad right now. The Granger is a great pick, but then again, there's so much tankiness coming in from Dusty Mizo, as well as the Baksha that even if his ultimate, they're not able to reach Prime, they're not able to reach Win. So both of these squishies are not having the best time of their lives with the zone. It's pretty hard to
oh,
facial migration with the flicker, the ultimate coming in, and Gregor will be taken down. Next on the stopping block is Scooby-Doo, and look at the damage coming in from Kimmy. Chosen will also be taken down, but meanwhile, Win will be exchanged, and Aaron will be taken down, and finally, Witch is the only one remaining, the last man standing. Will he be able to defend? Will more turrets be taken down? Will someone go in for the Lord, or will they just look it for a final push?
I think they might go for the final push because Witch is in a very heck of a trouble. He might have the Purifier, but once he gets caught out, it's just GG's. But never mind, there is the Gregor Samsa there for to save the day for
Oh,
them. Meanwhile, we can see Witch is getting a heck of the poke from that Prime right there. This Prime's nibble, I think. This rocket launcher's ultimate is just too much. I would say a hassle to handle because if Tiger engages, there's a rocket launcher from that Beatrix that creates a gap between the backliners, the damage dealer, and the Tiger and the Phobius, and they are left all alone into the front line and just taking one heck of a damage from that continuous damage dealer Kimi as well as this Prime. Meanwhile, Dusty Mizo, he's just very very good with his timing with his this Fredrin. I think that's why his Fredrin is just a classic pick because that Fredrin, he's just using Appraiser's Wrath onto that slither of HP, getting a crucial kill of that Aaron in the previous team fight. There is again a stun from that. Okay, that will be a very distraction pulse from that Kimi and getting the 2 kills, a little bit of the Tiger and of that Povius. And this might seal the day for Team Zohan to take the free lot that they need right now to end this game. And they will go for that Lord as well. As well.
the frontlining from IGN isn't enough. Chosen is trying to give some vision out there, but then I mean, the implosions, like, who will you even use those implosions on? Because Fredrin is stunning you, Baksha is stunning you. There's so much stun that even Chosen himself cannot move. He cannot walk. And the way they are just melting down right now because the Beatrix is farmed and the sniper is hitting so hard. I mean, just look at Gregor already. Such a low HP. Same goes for Witch right now. Zohan forcing the last line of defense. The Lord marching up. The lanes are synced pretty well from all three sides. This might be the final march, and that's what I'm saying. The front line from IGN isn't able to defend. They're just getting melted down. We need a good implosion from Shosen, but there's so much zoning in coming in. Both the Phobos as well as the Tigreal might not be enough for that. But look at the Baksha going in. Got that last time from behind the scenes. Lucas trying to do some play right now. The damage coming in from Prime and the beam coming in. Okay, the
Oh,
implosion on three members finally. The Lord has been melted down. Fine, crucial time for themselves. And IGN barely surviving. Meanwhile, which will be taken down? Gregor in a very tight
oh,
situation. The flicker and the spatial migration trying to take people down. The double kill for Prime right there. A triple kill for him. Will he go in for a maniac? It's for him, a savage. But no, here comes the immortality looking in for that savage. But no, the game will get ended. And with this, Zohan will be getting a spectacular clean sweep from IGN.
I think Kimmy got the last kill, just like Morangian. They don't give it with the Savage as well. So, yeah. So this was the game number two, guys, and this was a clean sweep from that Zohan to that IGN. Wonderfully executed draft from the side of Team Zohan. Team IGN, they were short on some plays, but a massive macro, I would say, micro differential from the side of Team Zohan, but a major macro differential from the side of Team IGN right there. Because I would say they tried to execute their draft, I would say, properly, but failed in the execution just after the first turtle fight. Because, Zosen just tried to, zone out that Tigreal, but, he just had that. Sorry, not Zosen, but yeah, Zosen tries to, zone out that Fredrin, but fails to do so as he has that one dash left. But after that first turtle fight, then the second turtle was just free turtle for the second team Zohan. Then again for the third turtle, no context was there. So when you lose neutral objectives like this, plus the late game power spike is just too much insane for the side of team Zohan right there. You got the prime, you got that win, you got that Dusty Mizo as well that can soak up the damage for the backliners just too. And this family problem just created a lot of problem for the side of team IGN right there because we have seen what a crucial stuns that this guy has given with the spatial migration knockups. So now